Ugh. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Faren, your fashion guru, and today we're going to learn how to thread a domestic machine. I haven't used one since high school, so let's get into it. I'm gonna learn just like you. So this is my fashion studio. My name is Faren. In my profession, we only use industrial machines. Technically, the domestic machine is kind of better than the industrial, just saying, because they have so many options for stitches. I'm actually kind of glad I got this domestic machine. And she's a beaut! Check her out. I bought her secondhand. She's pretty fantastic. The first thing we're gonna do is wind our bobbin. You'll usually find these bobbin winders either at the top or at the side of your machine. Mine is at the side under this little pocket thing. Cool. In order for us to do this, we need to put it through a thread guide and then through a tension disc, which is at the side here. Again, your machine could be very different from mine. This is a very basic machine, so I suggest checking your manual. I know, but again, this is just a basic overview of threading your machine. So first, thread on the spool pin into the thread guide here on the side, clips in, and then you go from here into this tension disc. From the tension disc, you will need a bobbin, ideally an empty bobbin. Put the bobbin onto your spool pin there. And then you take this thread and you wind it counterclockwise. This is what my manual said. Check yours and see if that is correct. Other than that, all you have to do is press the gas pedal. It's not a gas. Although I do feel like I'm driving a car. Make sure your presser foot is up before you start your bobbin, okay? Kind of a safety thing. Anyway, let's go. Okay, we're speeding a little bit. My high school teacher, she used to give out speeding tickets. I am not kidding you. That worked out pretty well. Next, you're going to want your bobbin case. So your bobbin case looks like this. You thread it towards you and you pull it through this little clip here. And you can see just like a little hole. So thread it through the clip and it connects with this hole, which actually the needle goes down and picks up the thread from that hole. It's pretty cool. Bobbin into the bobbin case underneath your machine by holding this little tab. Clip that in. Okay, so before we get to threading the machine, let's talk about parts. So you're gonna see all these like dials and buttons and numbers and stuff like that. Don't worry too much because really there's only gonna be a few stitches that you're probably going to use. You'll see that this is the positioning of your needle. This position actually corresponds with the stitch. So check your manual to see if the stitch and the position match, okay? Next, we have the stitch selector. Here we are on the straight stitch right now, and we also have the zigzag, but this is also color coded, which corresponds to this knob right here, this dial. This dial is the stitch width. So this corresponds with the stitch that you have selected, okay? So it's basically the width of the stitch, how big your zigzag is going to be, or how tight your zigzag is going to be. But these colors correspond with this dial. Next, we have the stitch length, which is this dial right here, which has also been color coded. The basting stitches would be your higher number, so this would be something that has a longer stitch length. And if you go tighter, as you see, there is a green, it corresponds with your buttons. So this will be a tighter stitch. And then we also have the back stitch here that is kind of concealed in a button, which you press in and this back tacks for you. That's about it. Let's get threading the machine. Take your thread and put it through the thread guide again. Here, going down from right thread guide to left. Goes underneath the pin. And then up through the uptake lever, which is this thing right here. This is the uptake lever. As you can see, it moves up and down. The uptake lever is very important to bringing your thread back up, and if it's not connected, you can tell that there's a lot of bunching happening. So always make sure that your thread is through the uptake lever, okay? And then from there, you go down to this other thread guide and another thread guide right before the needle, and then through the needle. From front to back. Let's pick up our bobbin thread. Oh, there it is. So magical. That's done. Let's talk about needles very quickly. Your basic everyday needle is your 12 to 14, depending on the thickness and the weight of your fabric. 10 is for finer fabrics, and your 16 to your 18 are like heavy denims and canvas. Make sure when you're starting to sew that your needle matches your fabric, as well as your presser foot. So your presser foot is based on the stitch that you're going to be using. There are many different options of presser foots based on the operation that you're going to be doing, whether it's putting in a zipper or putting in piping, whether you're top stitching or edge stitching. They have different presser foots for every operation. Unfortunately, my machine didn't come with these presser foots, but you can buy them separately online based on your model of your machine. That being said, after you've checked all of the boxes, you can start sewing. That's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was a quick one, and I hope you learned something. Let me know in the comments below how it went, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Ciao.